I'm just sweating because today's inventory day before vacation. Welcome to During Business Hours podcast. I love you. Dream on you, little But just in case they can second guess that bit of emotion and affection from this egotistical emphasis maniac. This guy.
From the start of the podcast, I'm like, man, he looks like he's...
If you thought you wanted to be a business owner and you thought you were doing it correct, then just wait and see how you your entire life up in the next 30 minutes while we discuss every conspiracy theory on no reason, rhyme, or how anything to do with business. Yeah.
Well, I sent you a couple business-related TikToks. I wanted to go over those the other day when we had a little bit of malfunction. By the way, is our audio on?
Yeah, tick, 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 tick.
And it's plugged in?
Yes, it's working. I fixed it. We wasted 35 minutes having a conversation about Boeing. We were the first on the scene. Definitely the first to make a video.
But Boeing
sabotaged our audio. Yeah, if you didn't know, Boeing, the 747, 737, 727, the jet airplane maker, has killed somebody, allegedly, for being a whistleblower in a judicial matter and hearings. And basically, the guy was found outside of his hotel with a gunshot wound to the side of the head, I believe. The coroner ruled it a self-inflicted gunshot wound, even though self-inflicted is very vague here.
I'm surprised the coroner didn't put COVID-related causes.
He probably did. We just didn't see it. Let's get back to Boeing. I think this is the craziest shit. For basically, they're under scrutiny right now because they have caused hundreds of defects, and overlooking said defects and the people who check them, aka the whistleblower who was a compliance maintenance man, worked there 30 years. If you work somewhere 30 years and you were forced to retire because you're like, hey, wait, this is unsafe, which allegedly is how he was forced to retire. I think that's crazy. There's a bunch of lawsuits, and then there's supposed to be criminal charges and all kinds of fun stuff. But it's a conspiracy theory. You know, I love it. It's great. Now a man's dead, but they did show that there are bolts missing from like hundreds of planes' doors. I don't fly international, not in like 10 years, thank God. And also I don't fly Delta because they're the ones that have most of the Boeing planes.
Right.
Southwest Airlines, just saying. Cheap planes, but safety tested.
They
like a good neighbor. State Farm is stalking you. Crazy busy day. Today was supposed to be slow so I could do inventory, pack up, go down to Oklahoma City, and then drive across country for 27 hours, not give a shit. And then out of nowhere, it was like mania. Gonna eat lunch, gonna get work done, get 3-5 phones. You want the number for what we made today?
Yeah, tell me.
I can tell you that there is $470 worth of paid invoices. It's funny. Looks like it says only $200. Oh, wait.
Forgot to update it.
Forgot to refresh my Square report. Not one dispute in 2 years, by the way. 2 years on this account, or a year and 4 months.
Nice.
Have you had any chargebacks yet? No, thank God. It has been less the $470 in cash payments and deposits, $1,129 for about 4 hours of work. Just go, 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 go.
Nice.
That's not bad. 4 hours. It's like $400 an hour on average. I'm blessed to say that I make near $300 an hour in profit.
No, that's really good.
Yeah. What would you, if you were super busy, what would you like to make with what you're doing? Like, how many people could you serve a day to make it profitable? Like, damn good profit.
I think the baseline, I would start it if we, like, to get everything, I think was like 10 patients at our, like, basic, just the saline, but to make it like really profitable, if people wanted like the Myers Plus, which is like $200.
So it's like $2,000 a day at a profit of what, $150 a piece?
Roughly.
So $1,500 a day for 8 hours of work.
Yeah.
That's not bad. In big city, you could probably do that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Have you tried looking into Enid?
They already have an IV bar.
I didn't see one on Google.
There is one there.
Yeah?
Yeah. One of my patients told me that their daughter goes to the IV place in Enid. They haven't been. They came to see me because, you know, they live around this area.
I get a lot of people from like Buffalo or Fargo and places that are kind of far. I didn't realize that we're the only place from like here to Enid that actually do microsoldering, back glass, customer service, appreciation, free tips and tricks, slap you in the behind and say, get the hell out.
Yeah.
Get you in and out in a jiffy, just not peanut butter.
And then Enid, what did you tell me about that? They don't have a repair place.
Hydrate You, Oklahoma.
In Enid?
It's a medical spa called Oklahoma Infusion Services in Garrison. Yeah. Owen K. Garrett, Oklahoma Infusion Services. They have 1 picture on Google, 2 reviews, medical IV, specialty injections, and wellness IVs. Yeah, this is, doesn't look like somebody actually cares for this, but there is somewhere called Drip IV. That's also in Oklahoma. This one at least has a few pictures, but also it looks like a salon. So I think they should do what you do with partnering with a salon. That's a little bit too elegant for Enid. That's like wannabe, come and hang out and throw your hair back and watch a Netflix. I'm surprised they don't have those otaku mounts like to the chair so that the phone could fall on their face, you know?
I'd definitely like something fancy like that.
That's too much, man.
You think that's too much?
Yeah, because even if you were busy, how is the customer going to enjoy sitting next to 3 of their partners or friends, getting an IV, chatting away for 45 minutes? I think individual rooms would be nice. If it was like a premier place and you can get like a back rub or a leg rub while you're getting an IV, massage an IV, out of the park. Cryotherapy an IV, out of the park. You know what's funny? I was told my wife I was going to get an IV from you today.
Oh, did you?
Because it's the road trip. I need one.
You should have told me. I would have hooked you up again.
I forgot because all going on today. All the money I was making, you know? But I definitely need, I think, a B12 shot for the drive at least. Yeah. So I'll come by and grab one from you when you get home. If you didn't know, this is my private drug dealer, you know, legal drug dealer.
That's the other thing I saw. It's a TikTok I sent you too, where these people were doing a B12 shot party. Or there was a party and like a nurse was giving out B12 shots.
What?
Is it going to rain in Dubai today? Just so I know. I have to drive back from Abu Dhabi to Dubai.
No.
It's not raining. It's a sunny day. The UAE government
They can't govern it like that, by the way. That's ignorant. They can't just turn it off like a light switch. If you could, you'd be billionaires selling it to every country in the world. What they can do is seed it with the silver nitrate solution, whatever bullshit, salt, sodium. B12?
Yeah.
So they're just giving out free B12 shots.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably more going on because it's, I mean, TikTok influencers.
Yeah, there's no way they're just doing that. It's probably like laced in cocaine, fentanyl, something fun. Because why else wouldn't they?
I was trying like in the middle of it.
Now, what the client instinctively will want him to say is, I never drink anything other than Dos Equis, okay? But A, that's not plausible for the most interesting man in the world, because it would make him less interesting.
Less interesting, yeah.
But B, I prefer Dos Equis. In other words, actually, it's an admission of how markets really work. Consumers have a repertoire, and the leading brands are largely leading brands because more people buy them at all, and the people who do buy them slightly more often. It's a sort of double whammy effect. It's an admission of honest reality, okay? And you instantly gain, I think, honesty and authenticity points through admitting a little bit of a negative. Now, one of my favorite end lines, which also features in that
Oh, you don't think so?
No. Most of those people, they didn't admit a negative at all. That's not the point. Nobody ever thought of the most interesting man in the world. And if any of you out there, before you were business owners, before you were anything, if ever you thought that the most interesting man in the world was telling you a truth about the beer, no, you just thought that he f***ed. Absolutely. That guy was cool. Like, no matter what, I just want to have a Dos Equis. I was like 15 and I'd be like, that's the guy. Or the f***ing Old Spice guy. There was no reality. They want the money. They're going to make it look good. The reason that a Big Mac doesn't look like a real Big Mac is because it's not real meat in the photos. You know what I mean? It's like plaster, compound, injections, nuclear waste. Bing. Lightning and magic. Think about it.
I think he's like also referring to like the word escapes me, where like that subtlety of like, even like background of you hear this commercial of like, I don't always drink beer, but when I do, it's Dos Equis. And it's like paying.
Is, as well as stay thirsty, my friends, the most interesting man in the world for Dos Equis. One of my favorite end lines, which also features always drink.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
But that's not an honest reality, though.
For him.
But nobody looked at that guy and said he doesn't drink. He's at a bar with whiskey glasses all around him.
But the point is, like, it's like, I don't always drink, but when I do, it's when he does, he prefers the Dos Equis.
Yeah.
So, like, right now in this situation.
But this is a man of options. This is the most interesting man in the world. They're putting a story out there.
Yeah, and then when he decides that he wants to have a beer, which beer does he decide to go with? Dos Equis, because it's his preferred.
Yeah, which means it should be your preferred. That's the whole idea. There's no honesty there. It's like, listen, I don't always drink. But if you do, drink Dos Equis. Like, that's what they're saying.
But like
it's not like, oh, you know what? We understand some of you may not drink, but what I do, I tend to have Dos Equis, but you don't have to drink.
But in his in his honesty, in this commercial's honesty, it's like,
I don't think it's honest at all. It's marketing.
Well, yeah, like this is the whole point of like.
Here's my honest marketing. The times when I'm like, hey, I can tell you to solve your problem, or you can come by and pay me to fix it. Shop with me.
Mine would be kind of like similar. It's like,
exactly.
Hey, I don't always get an IV, but when I do, I prefer Ivy League medics.
Yeah, you should do that with the most interesting man. Fucking take that picture, go to Canva, and be like, I don't always prefer an IV, but when I do, put it on there. And just like the Matt Rife one that went super viral with us last year, that will go viral. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't always get an IV, but when I do.
I wish I was clever enough to edit an IV bag into his hand instead of a beer.
Go to Canva. Canva will do it for you.
Edit an IV bag into his hand?
Dude, you can use Microsoft, and there's Bing's AI that will do it with the photos for you.
You're going to need to show me this because I'm not that.
There's so much more shit I have to do before I leave in 12 hours.
I'll just make the
I'll make this on the car ride just to show you how easy it is. Rudo, my poster social, he says a social media manager. Sorry, I just think it's so funny that's in your bio as social media manager. He posts all the shit for me. Mm-hmm. And he does like thumbnails. And to him, his thumbnail job is kind of like everything because he likes to edit and draw with his pencil. He does a very hard way of making thumbnails for himself. But it's what he learned and what he did. Me, I would just line out a picture that I want, size, line out, cut, layer, throw something where I want it to. I'm holding a cell phone going like this in a picture. But this hand in this photo where it's like, this needs to be like 5x size where the phone is like superimposed onto the screen like here, but I need to be here, you know? And that's really easy to do. Time, essence, being a business owner is really hard when you have so much shit to do. Like today, you made a mistake as a business owner. You didn't notify your customer that you were there waiting, or your friend you had taken off on, you hadn't taken off for a customer.
I was going to go pick up my dad.
I know, time management though. Like reaching out, that's super hard for me too. When I'm in the go, like today I didn't text anybody back. Mm-hmm. So I understood. I just caught 4:45. I'm like, where the fuck is he? He said he was coming back to do this inventory. So if you didn't know, Alex is trying to get into the art of electronics repair. He would like to be in this type of business. It's a good opportunity. Money. He sees what we make in a town that's very small. We're considering moving to Enid, so he may buy this business from me one day. Yeah, it's a good option. We just want to give him some softball ideas on how to run it and what he would do. But it's not a hard job being in a trade like this. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if the trade is needed. I just underestimated how much this town needed an electronics repair technician that was competent and honest and actually cared.
Right.
On occasion.
And that would be upfront with their customers?
This guy, yeah.
With reasonable prices?
No, I charge out the ass. I tell my customers, like, this place is more expensive than California. I'm very honest about that to the customers. My labor in California is $50. Mm-hmm. $50 per repair. Whatever it is, bing, 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 done. Here it's $79.99 at the minimum. That is a very big jump from, well, why is it there to here? Well, here, the demand is higher. I didn't expect that. We were just going to kind of hobby it, throw some accessories. I don't want to be in the electronics repair industry. You all know, especially if you're another business owner in this industry, y'all can be assholes. Absolutely. A majority of people on the Facebook groups are either scamming, running game. There was a guy who was on crack that was running in the groups for so long. His name's Jake Fletcher. Yeah. He was smoking crack and meth and a bunch of stuff. Got arrested, started flaunting money that he was getting from like either drug deals or government assistance. Mm-hmm. And now he sold his business. And he's like, on to the next and best. Last thing I saw, man, you were like in 4 charges from the government. Bankruptcy is hard. I understand. I've definitely looked into it once or twice, but it's fake. All the shit people do on Facebook and they're like, oh, business is so great. Boom, 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 boom. It's fake. I just show, I think it's hilarious. I see all the f***ery. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm good. What?
Nothing.
I'm very honest about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got my debts and all my bullshit and my gambling, Mm-hmm. What wrong is it going to do to be like, hey, I rent a home because I don't need to buy right now. Interest rates are through the roof and I spend too much money. Gambling. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Somebody can look at me and be like, his life is so great. $200,000 in debt.
There's always going to be somebody that's like that.
I'm chipping away at it. I pay the absolute minimum because I'm very petty about it. Mm-hmm. Government wants $100 payments every month. It's funny. What would you do? I was talking about this earlier. If you had $0 to give, $1 billion in your account, what would you do?
Like just anything?
Mm-hmm.
Terraform. No, I'm just kidding. Invest. I'd want to keep that. If I just had straight $1 billion, like I just got $1 billion just given to me and that's it, I'd want to start doing like some kind of investments and do like a business like this where I just reoccurringly get money. So in that way, if I end up in a situation where like, oh yeah, I lost, $500,000 or $500 million. Yeah. It's like, okay, well, that's no problem because I have money recurring to come in. So I was like, oh, yeah, it's not.
That's kind of what happened to me with Sacramento when I lost $100,000 in 2 months. And then we're like, hey, this is theft. It wasn't so hard because we had the income of this place by the time we noticed it. If we would have noticed it like a month sooner, I would have shut this place down and then gone and handled it. It would have been much worse because we didn't have the 10 to 15 grand we were making at the time. And then we would have been like out ass loads of money. Right. Because we would have had to float the bills for here and there all at the same time with no income. Because Leslie wasn't doing the Made by Love stuff. She was like, oh, I'm just going to kind of hang out with the kids and we're going to look into homeschool. And she took like a month to figure out what she wanted to do. And so that was trickling downward. And I was really pissed off at the time. I was like, man, we were doing so good with that. We were making like $5 to $7 grand a month. Just from that. 2 days a week, busting our ass. Mm-hmm. Such a good thing. Start making lotion. I love making the soaps, though. Soaps are still for sale at shopmadebylove.com. But boy, because that stuff I can make batches all at once and then sell it through 3 months. Because it takes 6 weeks to cure on average. So once that curing is done, I got 3 months of sales.
What about the lotions?
The lotions aren't really my thing. I don't really like the lotions. I'm more of the beeswax pomade for the lotions. That, for me, is better. But I want to sell stuff I use or I do. Like if I can do it, need it, want to do it, then I'm more passionate about it. But if I go and say, man, I can buy hair curlers for 60 cents and I can sell them for $200. I'm not going to go open a fucking salon and like, hey, you want to open a salon? I'll sell them to you for 40 cents. And then, I'll make a little bit off the top, but I'm not the guy who does that without like social skills. I love talking to people. I love chit-chatting, bullshitting, the silver tongue aspect. There's certain people I don't like talking to, and I always tell you, I'm like, oh, this or the guy who gave me 6 social security numbers today. That was an interesting case. He's like, hey, do you want to buy my PlayStation? He pulls out an all-in-one PC. I'm like, I don't think that's going to be worth a lot, but I'll check. Turns out it's an i3 fucking 4th gen, super old computer. I'm like, all right, great. Put your serial number for the device that's on here, your first and last name, phone number, and sign-in date. Allows me to check into the computer. I'll give you a price by tomorrow morning. So I gave all 4 of his family members social security numbers. It said SN number. That's how he sounds. I'm not trying to be like speciesist. What's handicapable? What's the word for like anti-handicapped?
I have no idea. Handicapableist?
Ableist. I'm not trying to be an ableist.
I was close.
I'm not trying to be an ableist, but it was very awkward. And I was like, okay, I don't want to deal with this person, but I'm going to be kind enough until he leaves. Then I'll maybe say a comment because it was just so outrageous. Mm-hmm. I've never dealt with somebody like that was so far outside of the view on his own trying to give information. Then his family came in after him. They tried to let him do the transaction himself. He miserably failed.
I was going to say, like, shouldn't he have somebody that is helping him out?
That's what I thought. So they came in after and like, you had it done? I was like, no. I need somebody to sign. Like, I don't think he's of the right mind to be able to do this by himself. So I got the right information. I was like, do you want to keep this? This is Social Security. Oh my gosh. How does he have that? Social Security's for her and her husband, 2 kids, everybody but him. That is weird.
Right.
But it's like a $300 computer that I'll buy for like $25 because there's rusted mouse and keyboard like it sat outside. Mm-hmm. The computer's been sitting on a desk for 2 or 3 years. I'll sell it. But I offered Mark at Schaefer's every computer that's come in here. I've offered for him to buy it for double what I buy it for. And so this is what collaborate over compete is. If I get a lead and I'm like, hey, I will buy this for $25 from a customer, and I buy it and I sell it to the B2B guy for double. I'll double my money quick. Even if he pays me the $50 for that computer, it is a $300 computer. He can sell for $200. He can double his money too. Mm-hmm. Or I can sit on it, wait, whatever. He's got a showroom just of computers. It's his job to sell just computers. I do electronics in general, but I don't have a lot of room for computers. We don't have tables sitting out with all the inventory, et cetera. We didn't go that way like we thought we were going to. Because originally I thought I was going to have a bunch of like woodworking and things out here for hobby shops, paints, dyes, brushes, 3D filament. I was going to stock all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Didn't end up doing that. And then next thing I knew, I was like, oh, well, it's just another repair store. But so he turned me down and I was like, why? You have your showroom. He's like, oh, I don't want that. I'm like, okay. And he's like, you don't have to offer me everything you get. I'm like, I only offer you the good deals.
Right.
He's like, no, I understand. You just want me to buy what you don't want. I'm like, we'll see.
Right.
Because now I'm not offering.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a But it was very funny because I was like, dude, that was an easy double up of your money. You pay me, you could flip it for quadruple, but he doesn't want to. And that goes back to my other point I was telling you about earlier. People and their complacency right now in business is astounding.
Yeah.
I've run into so many business owners lately that just don't want to do the work. They don't want to make $50 with a phone call. They want all their customers to come to them. Why they don't come to them, then they'll complain. They'll sit around, drink, piss and moan. I'm not talking about you.
Hey, I made a post today.
I know. I
made 2 posts today, and one of them was because I forgot to post Saturday, our podcast. But I did have a friend reach out to me, and he was like, hey, dude, I think it was this last one. He was like, you were talking about the bar scene, and he was like, I was so afraid that you were gonna say something about me. Joey.
Boy.
He's a bartender.
You had to circle yourself out, like really pinpoint yourself. How's Joey?
He's good. He works at the Patriot Pub. He's a bartender there.
Oh, nice.
And
haven't been there yet.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'd offer if you want to go tonight, but with how busy you are.
I just got to run to Walmart, and then I got to cook some steaks because they're going to be bad. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of food that's going to go bad in the next week. You can cook it from my fridge, or I'm throwing it away.
You just post whatever's bad, and I'll cook it.
Yeah, I'll put Post-it notes on it. Yeah.
But I told Joey, because I was like, oh, dude, like, you watch the podcast? Like, awesome. Like, hell yeah. You know, he appreciates our content and the stuff that we talk about and do. So that's awesome. And I was like, well, you know, with Chris going on vacation this next week. I was like some guest appearances.
Absolutely.
I was like, yeah.
Whenever you want to, you know how to fire it up. You'll have the keys. Start it off. What's the story with Joey? What didn't he want you to talk about?
I honestly, I have no idea. I'll even pull up the message.
Did he say anything about, he's like, thank God for not posting about the bar scene? Is he
was
in control of any of the bar scene?
So he sent me the dating customers, getting bait and switch with modern TV. And he was like, I'm glad I wasn't mentioned when y'all was talking about the bar scene in town. Slightly had me worried. And I mean, I don't even know what he's talking about. Like,
I wonder how he acts when he's off the clock.
I mean, just like every other person that,
Every other bartender? Do you know a lot of bartenders? I knew a lot of bartenders. They're usually the ones that get wilder when they're off the clock because then they finally get to interact how they want to everyone. They're respectful to the staff. Mm-hmm. Always. They know how to tip, but they just are so fed up with all the and they know who to avoid, so they know where to get the best time to have the most fun after hours. So I'm wondering if he's like that crazy guy who gets absolutely shit-faced. It's like, I'll get you more.
Well, the funny thing is because he sends me, because we have a Snap streak going.
I don't use Snapchat. I'm married, unfortunately. Snap is for younger people or people looking to cheat. So
yeah, me and Joey are a thing. Yeah, sorry.
No, you wouldn't. Once you get into a relationship, you'll delete your Snapchat.
Why? I use Snapchat to talk with my friends.
You won't.
It's
just a natural progression for straight men. We delete Snapchat when we grow up.
Literally, the only people I Snapchat is my buddy Branson. He's been one of my best friends since high school. He's married. Him and I just Snapchat back and forth. Mm-hmm.
But you can see everyone else's.
What do you mean?
All the people that you can add, people on Twitter. You can literally go to anyone else's Snap. There's like forums of like...
Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm not communicating with them. There's no point for me to do that. At least in my mind. But Joey, like him and I Snapchat back and forth, and he sends me like he's doing shots of like Rumple... it's Rumple and it's like a peppermint like vodka and it's like in the morning and I'm like, God damn, dude.
Living that good life.
Yeah,
yeah, without his parents.
Yeah.
He's living solo?
Yeah, he has his daughter sometimes. But
single man with a child. Doing shots in the early morning.
Pretty sure he's dating somebody. I love him though.
I know. He sounds like a blast.
Dude, he's a hell of a time.
Oh, yeah. We should meet. Joey, come on by. I know we talked on the phone once, right? Like when you got a phone call?
No, that was Branson.
Okay, that's Branson. I had a falling out with Jeremy. The guy who stole from me, refused to do the work, ended up having his own personal issues after that, got sued by a lot of people, which I decided not to sue him because he already had 4 other lawsuits. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with you. And then that guy was like, this is why people aren't going to like you. You're going to burn all bridges around here. I was like, I'm fine with that. If I'm burning bridges with people I shouldn't be in contact with, that's better for me.
Right.
I don't need to surround myself with like very bottom feeder-ish people because then I'm going to be a bottom feeder.
Right. Yeah. People that go around just like backstabbing other people.
Not even just that. It's like, I don't mind if I give you $1,000 right now to do something and you can't do it. I don't mind you saying, hey, you know what? I spent the money. I f***ed up. I need some time. At least let me know. Don't drag it out for 4 months. Mm-hmm. Don't give me every excuse, child sickness, wife this, cousin that, business partner this. Don't try and make it seem something it's not. You're not going to save face. It's Oklahoma Woodward. It's not... And when I first moved here, I was really bad at calling this town out like that. I was like, well, people who make a business here, it's not like somebody who brought a business here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We have a different, what's that? I don't want to seem very, very negative because it's going to sound negative either way. The people who say it's a black hole here. It's not that it's a black hole. It's that you know you won't get out because you create your own future. You're causing it. And the people like that, like Jeremy and the other people, they'll never get out of here. They don't want to get out of here. They don't know what the world has to offer.
Right.
Me, $1 billion tomorrow, I'm buying a busted-ass RV and a pickup truck. just drive. Then when I get to the ocean to ocean, I'll probably buy a plane and then just fly and buy another RV and another pickup, put like the other one on fire. Drive, fly, just go travel. That's all I want to do. I've traveled quite a bit I'm only 33 and I've been to too many places to list off. I've experienced a lot. It's crazy to think about sometimes, but I just want to continue to do it. So owning businesses like this that'll make quick money or a turnaround helps me do that. And I don't think I'm an most of the time. People I talk to or genuinely like appreciate, I'll be your best friend. Yeah. I'm there for you. Just don't spit in my face and call it mac and cheese.
I think that's where it's a little bit different from you and me, where like I see that, you know, and like even Seth's mentioned it like a couple times where like, yeah, you know, there's just like where you come to retire. And it's all just like you said, it's like people are like, yeah, you know, it's just like a black hole. You'll never leave. You'll always come back.
Yeah, that's weird to me.
And it's always like, I mean, yeah, sure. Probably not growing up. Growing up, I, you know, wanted to leave like every, you know, young child.
I don't see you as the person who builds a business here to stay here. I know you say that you want to be close to your family and everything, but the way you act is different. And that's one thing I really love about you. You don't act like some of the fuckers who are like the nutrition shop guy, the Main Street guys, like that just started a business and they're like, go, go, go. I see that there's like a more from you.
Well, I mean, like that's the thing. It's like I want to like build like these businesses because I want to bring something more to Woodward, Oklahoma, to where people don't have that like negative reaction to it. But I also want to travel because that's where I gain more experience from to then bring back to Woodward, and it's just like constantly replenishing. Where it's not just like a stale mindset of like, yeah, you know, like I'm here, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be here forever. I'm gonna die here. Where it's like, hey, you know,
I got my headstone picked out at 22.
Yeah,
there was a kid who said that.
Seriously?
Yeah. Apparently, they've got a monument at one of the local places, and they're like, "Yeah, I've had my headstone picked out since I was a kid." I was like, "What? That is morbid. It's sad."
Some people are like that. Some people just live and die for small towns. Like one of my buddies.
Why not at least see the beach, the real beach, Atlantic Pacific? Like, go somewhere, do something. Go to fucking Disneyland. If you go to Disneyland and you tell me you absolutely hate anywhere but here, I'll believe you. Like, at least going there, you'll see an airplane, a bus, a train. You'll experience something more than a small town has to offer. That's the difference. Even walking cross country, because you'll see more.
Right.
The idea is there's the people who are like, they don't want to do anything more because they just want the appreciation of those from their hometown. And they're like, okay, I just want to get married, have a couple of kids, and support that. I've done that. I'm happy with marriage and kids and supporting my family. I just now want the kids to grow up healthy, happy, and educated, preferably not stupid. Just know that they can do more. And then not feel that their headstone is picked out for them in a place. My wife wants to call somewhere home. And I'm like, you know what? If one home was always there, it would be great. But I don't think I can be in a place for more than a year and not at least see the trash that's around the outside of the property, you know? Like, we all know the problems with this place, the judicial system, the cops.
Yeah.
It hurts business. It definitely does. Because then I don't want to put like another 50 grand in this place. Because there's little things I could do. I could offer B2B. I could hire another person full-time. I could put out ads on Facebook to the Western Oklahoma, Northern Texas, have people mail shit in. I could make this a big spot. But putting that money and time in is like, I'm going to have to put a lot of effort into focusing solo on this. And I don't think that would be best for me.
Yeah.
It'd be super stressful. Talk about adding weight. Baggage.
So that's where I come in.
Well, no,
that's where I come in, and I do all those things because you started it, and I'm going to continue it.
Yeah. Well, because me and the wife are talking about Enid now that we've been over there. It's like, I think that's the next natural progression. She likes the idea right off the bat, so I don't have to argue. I don't have to be like, Florida's X, Y, and Z. Let's go visit. We went out there, and she's like, I don't want to talk to all the weird people at the park. There's so many people. They all look like normal people. Turns out it was like 5 churches and all their kids play together. Not even the same religion. Out here, Woodward, Baptist and Christian, no way. Those kids would shoot each other. They are like at war.
Yeah.
Out there, like no, they're part of the Baptist, they're part of the Methodist. They're like they really don't care. Mm-hmm. There's such a big population. They're like, there's enough room. Here, there's enough room. Small population. They're like, don't bring those communists over here. I'll kill them. Let's stand your ground, cast whatever laws here. I'll kill them. We'll drag them on the property. I'll kill them. They're close enough. I'm like, is this not a Bible worship?
I think like that's the thing where it's like so helpful with like bringing new people to this community where it provides like a different
diversity.
Insight. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I want to do. I want to continue to do.
If you could pick 10 different businesses to open tomorrow, what do you think Woodward is missing?
What do I think Woodward is missing? Probably more entertainment side. I think we've been doing a decent job at it. You know, we got a few places. Now we have the Family Zone?
Yep. Optimaze Family Zone.
Yeah, Optimaze. We have the bowling alley. You know,
they definitely need a update on the bowling alley.
Yeah.
The screens are like 97 NCAH league in San Jose. The lanes are falling apart, and we're like, ooh, it's sticky. No. We're like, all right, let's cancel, pull out, grab our banners. It's not a great bowling lane. But when you're drinking, you really don't care how sticky the floor is.
Right. If there was something like what I see for like game-wise, like the comic book shop, but
GameStop, the Game Exchange in Enid, I thought that was an amazing place because it's not just used new. There's Chinese, retro games, mods, pawn, buy, sell, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything GameStop should be under one umbrella. And then all the Asian candies. We actually have to shoot a taste test with all the sour warheads tonight. I was going to do that. That's the other thing I got to do before 7 p.m. before the kids get too late.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy because with such a small town, there's so many options. Mm-hmm. And I've realized over the year, I love most of the people here. I really do. There's a few crazies. But there's a lot of that just should not be in business for themselves.
Right.
Or they should take a step back and let their nice employees handle shit. Don't get in fistfights in the parking lot and go to jail and then have the bail bondsman searching for you. Which did you see yesterday, the bail bondsman here?
Which one?
All of them were here.
Here?
Yeah. They were all outside. You were here when the cops were out front, right? Okay, so it was right after he came back from, or was going to court.
Right after?
Yeah, right before he was going to court.
No, I wasn't here then.
Okay, so he was here. He was leaving to court. I thought they were coming to get him, like he missed his court date. Turns out he didn't. But somebody was looking for the guy we were talking about earlier. Make your guess. Skipped, did whatever, bullshit. But they took pictures of the business, snapped a bunch of photos, bail enforcement or bailiff enforcement. Mm-hmm. So somebody missed a court date, probably from him and Jeremy's brother or whatever, going into fistfights.
God.
The whole thing is just nuts.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to have problems wherever I go. There was a kid who's, I guess, autistic that came in. Now, when he leaves, he also calls them assholes. And I just can't stop the hilarity there as he's leaving. Okay, you f***ing assholes.
I was like, all right.
I guess we had given him the service he requested, and we were on our way. But there's people like that are just out in the streets in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. Here, we don't get that. We get people that are like, I have Social Security numbers for my entire family. Here you go.
Right.
Like
anybody
want a Southwest card? 5,000 points. No, stop. DM me.
Those family electronics and Social Security numbers.
No, it's fictitious. There's always somebody. We're so close to the border. From the land to the sea, we must be free.
Is that how it goes?
From the land to the sea, this land is your land. It isn't my land. I got my hands up in every Thailand. Sorry. America. America. Fuck yeah. No, it's been good. The trip, I'm forcing my wife to do photography. We're going to take a family photo, even if we look like we're in our pajamas and shit ourselves, at every stop over the 26 hours. One photo right when we get out of the car. So it goes from like looking nice, looking kind of ragged, decrepit, don't talk, stop talking, don't move, kids stay still. Picture, please, can we get breakfast? All right, we're on our way. Please, somebody's going to kill me. To the, I can't believe I did this shit again. Please, somebody put a gun in my mouth photo at the 12th stop. And I am going to make that a collage for my screen wallpaper.
I think my prediction, Seth's going to do all right.
Let's hope. He's got at least $700 worth of work in the next 2 days.
Mm-hmm. If I would have come by earlier, like in the past couple of weeks, you probably could have taught me a couple more things that could have helped him out.
Yeah, Seth will teach you a couple of things too. I was going to have you tear that the switch over tomorrow. So let's see how he does that. That'll be your job to do. I told Seth already.
Okay.
There's also, we did an Apple Watch for a customer, and he noticed the Surface that was down there. And I told him the price of what it values at, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll fucking buy it." So he offered me the $260, which is double what I'm owed for the Surface laptop, because it's an $800 laptop anyway. So he's like, "No, I'll pay you whatever, as long as it's not half of what." I guess he buys and sells shit. I was like, "Yeah, I can make the $140 plus my late fees." Great. So he went from doing a $200 watch repair to $500 plus, and that's not included the $700 in the next 2 days. But once I get the new charger for that, I'll sell it to him. That'd be great. Well, I appreciate you coming by. Is there anything else you want to look at or show?
There was a couple more.
Let's take a look at his TikToks, and then we're going to get on with my packing and my reviews and get the day going.
A lot of the things that economists think that features in that top 10 is really, really clever. Because if you trust the guy who's selling you a car, it's probably not going to be that bad a car.
No.
Now, here are a few just other suggestions very quickly, okay? If you want people to finish their course of antibiotics, don't give them 24 white pills, give them 20 white pills and 4 blue ones, and say, when you finish the white pills, take the blue ones. The pills can be absolutely identical chemically, but more people will get to the end of the course. Do not do, understanding how human perception, Coca-Cola, did anybody notice this? For a time, they put red caps on Diet Coke. If you're a regular Diet Coke drinker, the red cap makes the drink almost undrinkable. I said that, I actually rang the people who handle Coke at Ogilvy and said, can you please tell them they are being fucking insane, okay? And I said it will only be a matter of months before they revert. Because everything, basically, colour affects taste. I mean, it's as strong as that, you know. Basically, someone who's been drinking Diet Coke for 5 or 6 years, Diet Coke with a red cap tastes disgusting. It's as extreme as that. You can actually...
I remember Diet Coke having a silver cap. It used to be strictly like a dark gray silver. Diet Coke. Yeah. Because it wasn't Diet Coca-Cola, it was Diet Coke.
Transform something from being bad to good by changing what people pay attention to. I've been flying for years, and every time the plane was met by a bus, everybody on the plane had the same reaction. Oh, shit, it's a bus, okay? You know, we paid for this. They can't even get us an air bridge. Where's going to be a bus? And then years of doing this, an EasyJet pilot said, I've got bad news and good news. He said, the bad news is we won't be able to get you an air bridge because there's a plane blocking the gate. But the good news is that the bus will take you all the way to passport control so you won't have far to walk with your bags. Look at each other. Thought, that's always been true, hasn't it? But nobody ever told us. So we automatically just assumed by default, God, the bus is shit, isn't it? With the second we realised there was actually an upside, we were going, oh, I'm quite glad there's a bus, actually.
You know, I do this a lot when I break something with a customer. I'll be like, hey, I got good news and bad news. The bad news is the screen was damaged in the install. The good news is it does come with a brand new part, next day aired, a free screen protector, and no extra charge to you. We're also going to throw in a cleaning. Now, what did I do there? I gave them $3. That's it. Screen protector at like 40 cents. Because I hold some tempered glass just to give people when I stuff up. But also, like, the overnight isn't going to cost me anything because of the credits I have most of the time. But yeah. And then usually I can get that warranted. Or I can swap it out on Amazon.
One of the things for non-native English speakers is often when we're speaking, we don't drop our jaw enough. Because English is one of the very few languages that requires you to drop your jaw a lot. And when you don't, it makes you sound unclear. Accents are never a problem. What's a problem is we don't drop our jaws enough. So I just want you to say, I'm dropping my jaw more.
I am dropping my jaw more.
Clearer, right? So when you drop your jaw more, you sound more clear. So think dropping your jaw more and overdoing the lip movements.
So this guy has a lot of business advice for how people can be understood, how you can sound better, sound more appealing, sound more confident. People will look at you better. You will stand out in a room.
Gonna help me get more women?
Unintentionally, but yeah.
Unintentionally?
Yeah, you know, I don't think he like straight up says that he is a dating coach, but dude, he does some crazy stuff.
So if you're talking and you already have the situational awareness here to notice that they're not interested, then you can call out the behavior. You can say, hey, I noticed that you're not really engaging with what I'm saying. Is there something I haven't explained well? Is there something else that I could be sharing with you that will be more valuable? All of us.
You're the direct reflection of the top 5 people you spend time with. What that quote means is it's not just about working out who you are in the present.
I've said this to everyone for like the last 10 years and now it's making a wave. I can't believe it. Like I heard this so long ago. I think when I was in the military. That and common sense is not very common. We all know that now. Right. But I feel like I'm vindicated at how many times people have told me to shut the up about this. Because it's now making the waves by people who are more influential than me.
You can decide who you want to become in the future by crafting the people you're spending time with now. You can spend time with people that can shape the person you gradually become. Wow, that to me means, wow, you can craft any future version of yourself you want. You just have to be conscious of that. Like, you can craft who you become. You're the direct reflection of the top.
I just speak with
what
the
you've
same.
been saying hasn't been resonating with people because you never made a video in black and white with instrumentals playing behind you.
Listen, you are. What do you say? You are the culmination of the 5 people you hang around the most. If only you could cultivate those 5 people, you could become a better future version of yourself. Pay better attention to the people around you. Understand the person inside you. And move forward. End scene. Fuck yeah, like that. That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah, now this is gonna get millions and millions of views. We're gonna become famous. We're gonna end up doing commercials for Nike.
Disrupt your scrolling session, but if you're new to my content, I just wanted to personally invite you to a free 2-hour masterclass that I'm running.
Solution, move your. He's gonna sell you something. It's not free. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not free. Masterclass is to get you to buy something more. He's got some good points at how you can speak more ethically, or not ethically, efficiently, eloquently, and get your point across delicately. And it's very, very appealing. I just don't care. I like the way I am. I personally like myself. I may not like my appearance sometimes, but I like myself. I like the way that I speak, the way that I get my points across, the people I interact with. I like the comments that I get about how well I carry myself in a room.
You're up front, you're direct, and it's very appreciated.
Yeah, unless I'm buddies and I'm saying curse words and all kinds of stuff, talk about anime girls and bam, 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 da, 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 da. Just that's, guy talk. Women out there, I'm so sorry. Don't listen here. But we will see you. I'm going to end it here, unfortunately, because I got 9 minutes to shoot that clip. Otherwise, my wife will kill me for giving sugar to the kids so late.
Yeah.
7 sodas they need to taste. So they get 14 drinks of soda, 14 sips, which is about a half a soda.
Before they go to bed.
Before they go to bed.
Oof.
YouTube.
Good luck.
That's not me. I could. Gotta go. Bye. Packing. Because I got to get up early for, throwing everything in the car. But we appreciate you. We love you. Dream bigger, do better, surround yourself with better people. We're doing the same. And just make better choices. We'll see you next time on During Business Hours. Work hard.
Life can be super happy, life can be super sad. I'm trying super hard to separate the good and bad. I go back to my future just to get to my past. But knowing me, my DeLorean will